Thanks for staying with us. AmaZulu King MisuZulu kaZwelithini is said to have reinstated his previous lawyers, Strauss Daly. This is his previous law firm that he worked with before. Now let's explore this further and see just what the thinking behind this was and speak to Prince Africa Zulu, AmaZulu King's spokesperson. Ndabazitha, let me thank you so much for your time this evening. Is the letter that is doing the rounds true?
Yes. I would like to confirm that His Majesty, the ruler of Zululand, His Majesty King MisuZulu, has decided to reinstate his former legal counsel, Strauss Daly, with immediate effect. This was effective from the 14th of December, which was yesterday.
What was the thinking behind that? Why did he decide to do this?
His Majesty had felt earlier on that he needed also to give other legal firms equal opportunity also to serve the crown. And indeed, he extended that hand and he gave the opportunity to Kavana and Richards, which were the lawyer who became the lawyers after that time. So later, His Majesty decided that is to also reinstate Strauss Daly. As you know, that we are now facing all around. You know, the enemies of the crown have multiplied at a very short space of time. So it was necessary that His Majesty strategically make that decision. So it was a decision that he made as a commander-in-chief that he needed to intensify the fight against those who are trying to destabilize his kingdom.
So he doesn't trust the team that he had in court?
His Majesty has got all faith on all our legal teams in South Africa. He is a democratic king. He's also a man who thinks about trying to make sure that there is enterprise development even within the legal fraternity. So it's just that now the Strauss Daly has a special history with His Majesty. They've already been to this field. They've already been acquainted with the similar battles that we are faced with. So it's not a matter of His Majesty's got faith or not. It's a matter of that His Majesty had given others a chance and he's decided to reinstate Strauss Daly. It's like when you're a coach, it doesn't mean that you don't have any confidence on other players that you change during, the middle of the match. You have to keep on making those changes and then see. Because at the end of the day, only him has a view, only him understands what needs to be achieved. But this decision has been well welcomed surprisingly by everyone, every organ of state and every community. Every part of the community, the tribal authorities, every business professional, they've all welcomed this decision. And yet again, we would like to applaud the wisdom of His Majesty, which always seems to prevail at the time when his nation needs him to really rethink and make sure that he makes the best decision for his people.
All right. You talk about, of course, the legal woes that you're talking about, and you say, using this analogy of a coach who's fielding players, having confidence in all of them, but of course this one that he's hoping is going to probably win the match or take them a step closer. So what strategy then is, are you looking to employ here, especially when it comes to the fact that right now you're going to go to an appeal? It's highly unlikely that, new evidence will be allowed in. That would be an uphill battle that you might need to jump, a hoop that you might need to jump over. So what strategy then are you thinking about as you bring them back in?
I want to take you back to the order, to the nature of the order, that the order was directed to the president. Strauss Daly will be giving assistance to the lawyers that will be appealing, which is lawyers from the presidency. So a lot of such questions, maybe you may want to direct such questions to the lawyers that are appealing, which is the lawyers of the president. But we are, however, very confident that the president's lawyers knows what they are doing. They've been to the battlefield, We are a democratic society. This is how we characterize, our lives, by going to court to obtain certain rights. However, I want to remind the nation that just like a child, that Home Affairs, that when you send your child, when your child is born, you go to Home Affairs to look for certification, so they give the child a certificate. But it doesn't mean that they give birth to your child. So the child is already there. The king is already on the throne. So I want the Zulus not to be confused by all this process, especially when they see the king and the royal family also reinstating lawyers such as Strauss Daly. It doesn't mean that you have got any doubt at all. We've got a sitting king. The only thing that really could be in question is, should things go other way, is the resources of the government on the throne.
Right.
It's also another conversation for another day. However, there is quite a great stability in the crown, and there is no way that His Majesty King MisuZulu could be moved elsewhere than to his birthright. This is how God and the angels have wished it. They have put him on the throne, and we would like to see that everybody respecting that. It's not a matter of going to court to look for an opportunity to unseat a great lion.
Is the panic about the resources of government?
There is no panic at all. Remember, His Majesty King MisuZulu came when the government was not behind His Majesty. The Zulus are capable to take care of their own king. His Majesty command majority of power in KwaZulu-Natal. Like you're talking like over 98%. So the Zulus are quite passionate that they will always take care of their own king. But we don't want to say that we don't appreciate the resources the government give us. We just want to really make it clear out there for people who are panicking, because it's not the resources of the state that makes a king. It's the birthright that makes a king. The king was born from the great kingdom, from the great king. He's got the great uncle who's on the throne. He's got princes who are first cousins. And you could never claim such a privilege that he has. And these are just rights decided in heaven by God, long before we were born.
Ndabezitha, we're out of time, but in about 10 seconds, I can't let you go without asking you this. There were reports suggesting that the king possibly owes this particular legal firm about 20 million rand. There was a suggestion that there was that particular debt that was outstanding. Is it true? If yes, is it settled?
I want to assure you that is not true. There is an account which also from the invoice that just was brought forward, I think a few days ago, and which the government of KwaZulu-Natal is busy processing from as far as we understand. So I'm not sure where is this sudden billing come from and how it got to 20 million, because it's one case over a period of 1 month. So 20 million was the money that was paid to Strauss Daly for the 5 years, and the way they were dealing with cases between, I think, 4 and 6 cases. So you can then do your own math, because you must just mind the whole propaganda that makes it into the arena, news arena at this stage, because everybody is very desperate to try and promote their own candidate. And unfortunately, people are trying to turn the Zulu monarch into sort of the polls for politics.
All right. Let me thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate that update. That was Prince Africa Zulu, AmaZulu King's spokesperson.